Ladies and gentlemen, life has a strange way of teaching us lessons. Sometimes it shakes us to the core, breaks us into pieces, and leaves us wondering if we will ever be whole again. But let me tell you something. Pain is not the end of your story, it is the beginning of your transformation. You see, when people walk away from you, when they choose to leave, when they fail to see your worth, don't beg them to stay. Don't ask, why me? Instead, whisper to yourself, watch me. Watch me rise, watch me grow, watch me become everything they thought I couldn't be. Pain is often seen as something to be avoided, something that weakens us and makes life unbearable. But the truth is, pain is not the end of your journey, it is the beginning of your transformation. It is the fire that refines, the storm that reshapes, and the force that pushes you toward a version of yourself you never knew existed. When life brings you to your knees, when the people you trusted the most walk away, when you are left alone with nothing but silence, that is when your real story begins. In those moments of darkness, you have two choices: to let the pain break you or to let it mold you. Most people see pain as a signal to stop, to retreat into a shell, to surrender to their circumstances. But pain is not a stop sign. It is a doorway. It is a test that asks you, what will you do now? Will you drown in your sorrow or will you rise from it? Will you allow your circumstances to define you or will you define yourself in the face of them? Transformation does not happen in comfort. No butterfly ever emerged from a cocoon without struggle. No diamond was ever formed without pressure. No warrior was ever made without a battle. Growth demands discomfort, and pain is the catalyst that pushes you out of what is familiar into what is possible. It strips away the illusions you once held, the people you once relied on, and the fears you once carried. It forces you to look within, to question who you are, and to decide who you want to become. There will be moments when you feel like giving up, moments when the weight of loss is too heavy to carry, moments when you doubt yourself, when you feel like the world is moving forward while you remain stuck in the past. But those moments are not signs of failure, they are signs of change. The discomfort you feel is not there to destroy you, it is there to build you. Every scar you carry is proof that you survived. Every tear you shed is evidence that you felt deeply. And every moment of pain is an opportunity to rebuild yourself stronger than before. It is easy to believe that pain is a punishment, that it is something unfair and undeserved. But sometimes, pain is a gift in disguise. It reveals the truth about people, about relationships, about yourself. It removes what is not meant for you so that you can finally see what is. It teaches you resilience, patience, and the kind of strength that no one can take away from you. Most importantly, pain is the force that turns endings into beginnings, weakness into power, and wounds into wisdom. Your worth is not defined by someone's inability to see it. Too often, we place our value in the hands of others, seeking validation, approval, and love from people who may never truly understand our essence. We measure our importance by the way they treat us, by the attention they give us, and by the place we hold in their lives. But the truth is, your worth does not decrease because someone fails to recognize it. It is not diminished by rejection, abandonment, or indifference. When someone walks away from you, when they fail to appreciate your presence, it is not a reflection of you, it is a reflection of them. People can only see from the level of their own perception, and not everyone has the capacity to value what is rare and extraordinary. A diamond remains a diamond even if someone mistakes it for a simple stone. The sun does not stop shining because someone chooses to close their eyes. And your worth does not fade because someone was blind to it. The danger lies in allowing another person's limited vision to shape the way you see yourself. When you start questioning your own value based on someone else's failure to acknowledge it, you give away your power. You start shrinking, doubting, and becoming smaller just to fit into spaces that were never meant for you. But you were never meant to be small. You were never meant to dim your light just because someone couldn't handle its brightness. True self-worth comes from within. It is built in the moments when you choose yourself despite being overlooked. It is strengthened every time you refuse to settle for less than what you deserve. It grows when you stop chasing people who don't see you and start embracing yourself fully without apology. The people who truly value you will never need to be convinced of your worth. They will see it, they will appreciate it, and they will cherish it without hesitation. But even then, your worth is not dependent on them either. It is not tied to the love, attention, or recognition of anyone else. It exists simply because you exist. It is woven into your being, independent of external validation. And the moment you understand this, you become untouchable. No rejection, no loss, no absence can shake the foundation of your self worth. You begin to walk differently, speak differently, and carry yourself with a quiet confidence that does not need to be proven. The world is full of people who will not understand you, who will not see your greatness, who will not appreciate your presence, but that does not mean you are any less valuable. It only means they were never meant to be the ones who recognize it. The ones who do will never make you question your worth. They will never make you feel like you are too much or not enough. They will never need to lose you to realize how priceless you are. Let go of those who choose to walk away. It is one of the hardest lessons to learn, yet one of the most liberating. When someone decides to leave your life, whether through distance, indifference, or deliberate choice, it is natural to feel pain. It is natural to wonder why, to question if you were not enough, and to search for ways to make them stay. But holding on to someone who has already let go is like clinging to a rope that is burning your hands. It only brings more suffering. People leave for different reasons. Some leave because they are not capable of loving you the way you deserve. Some leave because they do not recognize your worth. Some leave because they are searching for something they believe they cannot find with you. Whatever the reason, their departure is not your failure. It is not a reflection of your flaws or shortcomings. It is simply a redirection, a way for life to remove those who no longer serve your growth. Trying to hold on to someone who has chosen to leave is like chasing the wind. No matter how fast you run, it will always slip through your fingers. The more you beg, the more you try to prove your worth, the more power you give away. Love, respect, and connection should never have to be forced. The right people will stay because they want to, not because you convince them to. Letting go is not about weakness, it is about strength. It is about understanding that your peace is more valuable than someone's inconsistent presence. It is about recognizing that you do not have to fight for a place in someone's life if they truly want you there. It is about choosing yourself over the pain of holding on to someone who has already moved on. There will be moments of silence, moments where the absence feels unbearable. There will be memories that resurface, making you question if letting go was the right choice. But every time you choose to release, you make space for something better. You open the door for the kind of love, friendship, and connection that does not require you to beg. You create room for the people who will see you, choose you, and appreciate you without hesitation. The heartache of loss is temporary, but the freedom that comes with letting go is everlasting. It allows you to reclaim your energy, to pour love into yourself, and to move forward without the weight of someone who was never meant to stay. Some people are only meant to be part of your story for a season, teaching you lessons, showing you what you deserve, and then leaving so you can continue on the path meant for you. Holding on to the past will only keep you stuck, but releasing it will set you free. The best response is growth, strength, and self-love. When you face loss, rejection, or abandonment, it is easy to fall into the trap of self-doubt and despair. It is tempting to seek validation, to prove your worth to those who overlooked it, and to hope that one day they will realize what they lost. But true healing does not come from proving anything to anyone. It comes from becoming so whole within yourself that their absence no longer defines your existence. Growth begins the moment you choose to shift your focus from what you lost to what you can gain. Pain has the power to destroy, but it also has the power to transform. It can make you bitter, or it can make you wiser. It can leave you broken, or it can build you into someone stronger than before. The choice is always yours. Growth is not about forgetting what happened, but about using it as fuel to become the best version of yourself. It is about taking the lessons, the pain, the disappointment, and turning them into stepping stones for your future. Strength is not about suppressing your emotions or pretending you are unaffected. It is about acknowledging the pain, feeling it, but refusing to let it consume you. Strength is in choosing to wake up every day and keep moving forward, even when your heart feels heavy. It is in realizing that you are capable of standing on your own, that you do not need someone else's approval to feel worthy, and that your happiness is not dependent on another person's presence. Self-love is the foundation of it all. It is the quiet, unshakable understanding that you are enough as you are. It is choosing to nurture yourself, to protect your peace, and to surround yourself with things and people that uplift you. Self love is knowing that you do not have to chase after anyone to be valued. The right people will see you, appreciate you, and cherish you without conditions. It is in the small choices you make every day, choosing to walk away from toxic situations, setting boundaries, investing in your growth, and refusing to settle for anything less than you deserve. The most powerful thing you can do in the face of loss is to rise, not with anger, not with resentment, but with quiet confidence. Let your growth speak for itself. Let your strength be the answer to those who doubted you. Let your self love be the proof that you never needed anyone to complete you. The moment you stop seeking validation from those who walked away and start validating yourself, you become unstoppable. You step into a version of yourself that is unshaken by rejection, untouched by loss, and unwavering in your worth. That is the real victory. Not proving them wrong, but proving to yourself that you were always enough. Success and self discovery are the ultimate forms of closure. When you experience loss, rejection, or abandonment, the instinctive response is to seek answers. You want to understand why things happened the way they did, why someone failed to see your worth, why they chose to leave. But closure does not come from words or explanations. It does not come from hearing apologies or getting the validation you once craved. True closure comes when you no longer need those things to move forward. It comes when you realize that the best way to heal is not by looking back, but by growing into the person you were meant to become. Success is not about proving anyone wrong. It is not about showing those who doubted you that they made a mistake. It is about proving to yourself that you are capable of more than you ever imagined. It is about taking the pain, the disappointment, and the heartache and using them as fuel to build a life that fulfills you. Success is not always measured in material achievements. It is in the quiet victories, the small steps of progress, the way you rise every time life tries to pull you down. It is in the way you refuse to let your past define your future, in the way you turn your struggles into strength, and in the way you create something meaningful from your experiences. Self-discovery is an even deeper victory. There is a version of you that exists beyond the pain, beyond the heartbreak, beyond the identity that was tied to someone else's presence. Losing someone, no matter how painful, often forces you to find yourself. It makes you ask questions you never did before. Who am I without them? What do I want for my own life? What makes me happy outside of anyone else? These questions, though difficult, lead you to the most profound realizations. They show you your strength, your independence, your ability to stand on your own without needing external validation. When you begin to discover yourself, you start to reclaim your power. You start to realize that your happiness is not dependent on another person's love or approval. You learn what brings you joy, what excites you, what gives your life meaning beyond relationships. You invest in your passions, you explore new possibilities, you create a future that aligns with who you truly are. And in that journey, you find a kind of peace that no words from the past could ever give you. There will come a moment when you look back and realize that you no longer feel the need for explanations or closure from anyone. You will see that everything that happened was only guiding you toward your true path. The person you are becoming, the life you are creating, the strength you have found within yourself, that is the closure. Not in their words, not in their regret, but in the way you chose to rise beyond the pain and build something extraordinary for yourself. True loss is when they realize they lost you, not the other way around. When someone walks away, it is easy to feel like you are the one who has lost something precious. The absence feels overwhelming, the memories replay in your mind, and the pain convinces you that you are missing a part of yourself. But time has a way of revealing the truth. One day, you will realize that you did not lose anything. You simply made space for something greater. The real loss is not yours. It belongs to the one who let go of someone irreplaceable. At first, they may not see it. People often take what is constant for granted. They assume that love, care, and kindness will always be available, that no matter how they treat you, you will remain. But life does not work that way. The moment you stop waiting, stop giving, stop hoping for their return, something shifts. The energy they once took for granted disappears. The presence they assumed would always be there fades. And that is when they begin to feel the emptiness they never thought possible. Regret has a way of creeping in when it is too late. The spaces you once filled become hollow, the warmth you once gave turns cold, and the light you brought into their life dims. They begin to notice that no one else loves like you did, no one else understands them the way you did, and no one else offers the kind of loyalty you gave so freely. They search for replacements, distractions, but deep down, they know the truth. What they lost was not just a person, but a presence, a connection, a kind of love that cannot be found twice. Meanwhile, you will have grown, you will have healed, evolved, and stepped into a version of yourself that is stronger and wiser. You will no longer be the person who once longed for them, who once questioned their worth because of their absence. Instead, you will be the one who realizes that life moved forward, that happiness was never dependent on them, and that you were never truly the one at a loss. The most powerful realization is that their regret is no longer your concern. When they finally see what they lost, when they finally understand your worth, it will no longer affect you. You will be too busy thriving, too deeply immersed in the joy of your own journey to care about the moment they wake up and realize what they let slip away. That is the true loss. Not just losing you, but losing the chance to stand beside the person you became after them. Some people only recognize value in hindsight. They do not appreciate what they have until it is no longer theirs. But by then, you will have already moved on, already embraced the life that was waiting for you beyond their absence. The greatest lesson in loss is understanding that you were never truly the one who lost.